Alexa, have we had any tornadoes here? Do we know?
Luckily, no tornadoes so far today. We've had a couple stronger storms. We had one severe storm in our river parishes earlier this afternoon, but we do have some rough weather on the way, so that could change. Really important to stay on top of the weather the rest of tonight. We have a line of strong to severe storms heading in our direction. These red boxes are tornado warnings, so it does have a history of producing at least tornado warnings. The storms are rotating, so there could be tornadoes along this line. When it gets closer to us, we will see, but I think as the line advances closer to us and arrives at about maybe 7:30 for western Tangipahoa Parish, and then 8 o'clock, 9, 10, 11. So we'll call from 8 to midnight tonight for our entire area. As the line pushes through, it will produce some very strong winds, up to maybe 60-mile-per-hour gusts. So that could produce some damage across the area. But we'll be watching that closely over the next several hours. At this moment in time, we are quiet across our area, but rain starting to head out ahead of the system, ahead of that really rough line of storms, I should say, is coming in our direction, but there are some showers and storms out ahead of it towards Baton Rouge. Over the next several hours, we will be dealing with this line of strong storms that gets in our region between, again, 8 and midnight tonight. So this will be out of here going into the overnight hours. So this is what is going on tonight. Some pretty bad, rough weather for us here at home. So far today, not much action, but I think tonight that's when we'll have this big action coming our way. All part of this system that's moving up to the northeast. A lot of rain for the lower Mississippi Valley. Some pretty strong storms off to our west today. Several tornado warnings and several reports of tornadoes for East Texas and western and northern Louisiana earlier today. For us here at home, we actually do have a tornado watch in effect for parts of the North Shore until 9 o'clock tonight for Tangipahoa Parish and Washington Parish. We'll see if this gets extended, but so far that's where the tornado watch is. So as that line advances closer to us, there could be those quick spin-up tornadoes out ahead of it getting into later this evening. So weather impact alert tonight for that line of very strong and robust storms tonight through the early overnight hours. There will be some strong damaging winds possible, some heavy rain, quite a bit of lightning, and maybe some isolated tornadoes out ahead of that line. Make sure you know where your safe place is in case a tornado warning is issued where you're at. And of course, have a way to get weather alerts, whether it's on your phone, online, on TV. We will be watching this system over the next several hours as it advances through our area. Now, temperatures today have been warm. We'll stay warm and humid the rest of tonight. 71 degrees right now. Not much happening over the city of New Orleans, but again, the rough weather is on the way later tonight. So we get to about 8, 9 o'clock. Here we go with the really strong storms pushing in across the North Shore and then the South Shore, probably closer to 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock tonight. This will continue until about midnight. Heavy downpours, lightning, and strong wind gusts with that, even some hail getting into later tonight. But as we go into the overnight hours, that does wind down. So before the sun comes up tomorrow, we will be done with the storms. Tomorrow is going to be a much nicer day. We'll have decreasing clouds and lower humidity settling in. But today we had that severe risk across much of the deep south. We are included in that very high risk for severe weather, especially on the North Shore. An enhanced risk for most of the North Shore. That'll continue through the rest of tonight. Slightly less of a risk the farther south you go, but still anticipating some very severe storms and very strong storms into the evening tonight. Damaging winds being the top concern, in addition to some small hail, heavy rain, and some isolated tornadoes getting into tonight. Again, from about 8 p.m. till about midnight tonight, that's our window for when the storms will be pushing through. We'll see those heavy downpours come in with that line as well. Rainfall totals up to maybe an inch, possibly up to 2 inches. So if you will be out late tonight, hopefully you'll be inside, not dealing with these storms. But if you will be, make sure you drive carefully on the roads. Have a way to get those weather warnings. Download our app if you don't have it. Tomorrow is going to be a nice day. Plenty of sunshine, temperatures at 70 degrees in the afternoon, less humid, just a wonderful finish to the weekend tomorrow. And then we stay mild through the rest of 2024, Monday and Tuesday, temperatures in the 70s. And then we have a bunch of cold fronts coming our way to kick off 2025, bringing back the winter chill. New Year's Day, temperatures will be down in the 50s and 60s, and will be in the 50s and 60s the rest of the week. For New Year's Eve celebrations, it is going to be chilly and a bit breezy. Temperatures will be in the 50s on New Year's Eve night, so make sure you bundle up, wear a jacket for the New Year's Eve celebrations, and plan for just a quiet stretch of weather. Here's our 7-day forecast after we get through the storms tonight through the early overnight hours. We have nothing to worry about when it comes to the weather. Beautiful days ahead. Temperatures mild in the afternoon. Cool nights and mornings return, but then it gets colder later in the week. Our nights and mornings get much chillier, 30s and 40s. So we'll have frost again north of the lake Thursday morning, Friday morning, and Saturday morning as we get into the first few days of 2025.